Episode 40. Look at us go, buddy.
I know, it's exciting. If we're not careful, we're going to have to stop calling this a hobby.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? I know we were talking Blue Jays lineup here right before we hit record, and we're like, well, we better get this on tape here before we get too deep into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the walk off, everybody. I'm Scott Belford, joined by my good buddy Adam Mack here.
Hello there.
I know I got a kick out of this weekend. You sent me a text, and it's just kind of makes me laugh that we're both in the same boat here. But you sent me Bo Bichette's rookie card.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, should I?
Should I pull the trigger on this? So, okay, it wasn't just like a Bo Bichette rookie card. It was graded. It was a PSA 10 out of 10 gem mint Bo Bichette rookie card. It was like $280. And man, did I ever I don't do any baseball cards. I have no baseball cards, but I thought that'd be a great place to start. I texted you, should I pull the trigger on this? And then I thought my wife would absolutely kill me if I did that.
What got me too is literally as he texted this to me, I had just been looking at like this Blue Jays hoodie, just a beauty, pinstripes, like $100 American and then $30 with shipping, right? And I was just like right on teetering on the edge. And even when you were like, my wife would kill me, I'm like, right, my wife would kill me too. Like this would not be a good move. Yeah. They keep us in check,
They do. Yeah, they're good for
us. Really excited about today's guest. We are on the last day of spring training, so it is the end of the spring training extravaganza where we have been talking to Blue Jays prospect the entire spring training. Our last prospect that we're airing the interview for is Chris Beck, and he is a catcher in the Blue Jays system. He's probably going to start at Double-A this year. Good buddies with Alec Manoa, grew up with him. We get into that with him. We chat a little bit about what it's like being a bilingual catcher and what a advantage it is to be able to deal with the Latin American pitchers and the English-speaking pitchers. And he's kind of the glue in the clubhouse a bit, which is very cool. And what was really neat about this interview, and I think you agree, is that he kind of squeezed us in. So it's a little bit shorter interview. I think it's only like 29 minutes, 30 minutes, but he squeezed us in well at the spring training facility. So yeah, he's in his locker and he's walking around pacing, waiting for the weight room because he had to lift at 12:30. Like they all have designated time. So it's kind of cool he squeezed us in. Yeah, so we'll air that. My guess is probably 30 minutes away. We've got a pretty intensive show ahead of us here. Yeah. We're going to break down the opening day roster. Things look like they're solidified. A few question marks still to go, but it's pretty much decided here. We're going to give some predictions on our MVPs, Cy Young winners, batting champions.
It's a little refined from what we did last year.
A little bit refined,
yes. We got some feedback on our stat predictions and our check-ins. Put a few listeners to sleep, so we're going to dial it back just a touch.
So let's get into it, my man. Jays opening day roster. My goodness. I can't even believe we get to talk about this right now. A few surprises. Jonathan Davis made the roster this year. He's going to be the fifth outfielder, so they're running with five outfielders. I think part of the reason that he's on the roster right now is that George Springer's injured, and it's a question mark there, right? So it's still unsure if Springer very well could start opening day. It's an oblique strain, which is always a little scary, right? Just because oblique injuries can linger and reoccur and be a real pain in the butt. But hopefully Georgie boy heals up and we see him opening day. But you know what? Play it safe. Have Jonathan Davis on the roster. That's great. Joe Panik made the team. Everyone kind of saw that coming. Lefty bat, utility guy, can move around the infield. Was there last year. Montoya loved him. That's no surprise, right? Another little bit of a surprise. Alondro Kirk, officially the backup catcher for the Toronto Blue Jays, which is exciting to a lot of the fan base. Captain Kirk, of course, made his debut in September. And it's funny, too, because I know you and I were talking about 3 weeks ago, right? And you said there's no way he makes the team. Why start his service time? And on top of that, you just lose Reese McGuire. And then in the next 3 weeks, Kirk proceeded to continue to hammer the ball, and Reese McGuire continued to look like crap. Yeah. So
Yeah, I woke up
think,
this morning to quite a few comments on a video I made last week saying there's no way Kirk is
yeah.
going to make the opening day roster. Just a bunch
And
of,
they're like, you're an idiot.
ooh, this didn't age well. So,
People were just waiting to comment on that, eh?
yeah, so I'm going to have to take that video down.
Uh,
So,
but I love seeing it. Love seeing. You know what I like about it is that it does show that this Blue Jays front office is in win now mode.
yeah.
Right? They're putting the best team on the field rather than playing the asset management game, and there's something to be said for that.
I think that George Springer's injury played a factor.
Yes.
I think missing his bat for potentially a few weeks. I think, Danny Jansen's a great catcher defensively.
Yes.
Offensively, he's a bit of a...
Has yet to really show that
really
he can
show.
do it at a major league level.
And I think just the idea of being able to put a fire bat in the lineup when we're going to
100%.
potentially be missing one for a few weeks.
Now, I know there's a few other announcements on the roster that were kind of exciting. Tim Meza just made this team,
Yeah.
which is mind-blowing to me. Big power lefty, right? This is a guy that got season-ending surgery in 2019, has been recovering for almost 18 months now, was off the radar. I don't even think people in the Jays system expected he would make this team, but he pitched so well. They're like, how can we not put a power lefty in the back end of this bullpen? So that's cool. That's quite a comeback story.
Yeah.
Trent Thornton, another guy who's kind of dealt with a year worth of injuries, also made the team. I think part of that also is, there's some injuries. So he's probably going to be filling in that starting rotation while Robbie Ray heals up. We're going to get into injuries in a second here. There were a few of them over the last week. But it's cool that Thornton made the roster. And then Rowdy Tellez, no surprise there that he was rostered.
Absolutely.
Looks like there's one more bullpen spot to be decided. It's kind of between Castro, Francisco Liriano, and Julian Merriweather. Up in the air. We'll see what happens there. So I know we've talked about this a few times over spring training. Alec Manoa. Now, obviously, Jays fans have fallen in love with him. And there are a lot of knowledgeable baseball pundits that have been saying, put him in, you cowards. Do it.
Right.
Put him on the roster. And I totally respect a lot of these opinions. These aren't uneducated baseball fans or uneducated pundits that are saying this. And maybe he does have it to be a big leaguer right now, right out of spring training. I still hate that idea. I don't know where you're at on this.
Hate it.
I just don't know why rush him. And I know the answer to that. I know there's people out there listening that the answer is we need starting pitching. What do you mean? Why wouldn't you rush him? But I just feel like he has never pitched above high A ball. Okay. He's had a hell of a spring. Let him continue to build his confidence. Put him in New Hampshire. Let him play in Double-A. Let him dominate. Let him push the needle. Make the Blue Jays promote him to Triple-A. Let him stay in Triple-A and dominate for a month. Maybe we bring him up mid-July, pick up another guy at the trade deadline. All of a sudden, our starting rotation looks pretty darn good, right?
That's the thing, right? Like he's a free trade deadline pickup, if nothing else, right? Like
if nothing else. And you know what? If come mid-July, he's not ready to be moved up, then we actually saved him by not pushing him forward, right? Like if he's struggling with Double-A or Triple-A hitters,
then he shouldn't have been in the big leagues anyways.
He'd be eaten alive.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think we've seen it too in a lot of cases. Like everyone forgets Alec Manoa is 22 years old, and there's so many 22-year-olds on this team that everyone's like, well, of course. But you forget pitchers develop a little bit behind some of these position players, right? Like there's just a little bit more mental acumen to the game, more of a chess match going on when you're a pitcher.
Yeah, there really is. I love Alec Manoa. Love everything about him. I think the upside is there. I think he has ace potential a few years down the road from now. I think his ceiling is higher than Nate Pearson's. There, I said it.
And I think that it is super important for a ball player, especially a pitcher, to experience a slump, to experience some struggles. Look at what happened to Vladdy.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Vladdy probably like for Vladdy's big thing was getting his head around the fact that he had to be in the same shape as everyone else because he didn't need to be in the minors, right? And I mean, every player has whatever they are struggling with that they need to learn. And the place to learn anything is the minor leagues. It's why it exists.
Yeah, I mean, look at one of the all-time Blue Jays, Roy Halladay.
Yeah.
You know, he struggled in the major leagues, got sent back down to the minors, refound himself, came back, and was a Cy Young winner / every year all-star for the rest of his career.
Perennial all-star, absolutely. So, I mean, we don't need to harp on this because we have talked Manoa quite a bit over the last few episodes. But I just wish everyone listening to just be like, you know what? Like, chill. He's going to get there. And if he doesn't, then why? Then, you know what? Like, then this was the right move anyways. So,
exactly.
Let's talk injuries for a second here. It's funny because last week, like, your voice was through my head so often, right? As
Sorry
it was going. Because,
that's a
you
terrible voice to have in your head.
Well, you've been hammering this home all spring. Spring training doesn't matter. The numbers don't matter. Spring training doesn't matter. The only thing that matters in spring is not getting injured.
Right.
And we had just like what felt like an avalanche of injuries last week because they all happened in the same about 2-day span. We already mentioned a couple of them. Kirby Yates, as most of you know, our big free agent closer, out for the year. Tommy John surgery. He's never going to play with the Blue Jays. The most we got to see him in a Blue Jays uniform is in some promos. So enjoy that. I wish him all the best. I hope him the utmost success in his recovery. I mean, the guy's 35 and going into Tommy John surgery, and that is not an easy. And this is his second TJ surgery. Mm-hmm. I know 85% of pitchers after the first one come back, 25% after the second. So, and he's 35. I really fingers crossed, man, that he pulls it off, and we see him at 37 in 2023 with a team, and he's killing it. But it's not going to be this year. No. We touched on Robbie Ray. He's injured, and this is one of those things with Robbie Ray where you're just like, life injuries happen. We all
he had to be a dad for a minute.
He had to be a dad. So what happened is he fell down the stairs holding his kid, right? And he bruised his elbow. Kid's fine. Robbie's fine, but he's got a big bruised elbow on his pitching elbow. And so it's just time will heal that. He's probably going to miss the first start, maybe the second start of the season, but he should be back in a week or two. George Springer, we kind of touched on that too, the oblique strain. Again, they're still saying he might play in opening day. I doubt it, but
why rush it?
Fingers crossed.
We still got Grichuk.
And I predicted this. That was my long shot.
Bum.
He's not a bum. And my long shot prediction was that Randall Grichuk has a career year this year and hits 40 bombs. And you even said, where is he going to find the at-bats? Well, you know what? If he gets to start the season and he's hot, the hot bat is going to stay in this lineup.
That's the thing, is even once Springer returns, we'll move Gurriel to the bench, or we'll give Teoscar. Whoever's cold will sit out. Whoever's hot will stay in. But we have a great outfield. We have a great outfield. I truly believe that, and it has some depth. We have 4 major league outfielders. We have 4 guys that have 30 home run potential.
Exactly, which is pretty darn impressive. Buddy, I'm really excited. Obviously, we're right around the corner from opening day. Thursday afternoon. Well, for us Albertans and BCers, Thursday morning. But 11 a.m. Mountain Time start, 1 Eastern. And we're going to try a little something fun.
We're going to get weird with it.
We're going to get weird with it. We're going to... What, YouTube live, right?
Yeah, it'll be a live stream, watch
party,
comment, whatever you want to call it. We're not going to be Buck Martinez level, but it'll be a good hang.
Yeah, we'll be shit talking the Yankees, and you can get on our Discord, and we can kind of be talking back and forth there as well, commenting there. should be fun. We're actually Ball Cap Sports is running a watch party as well, so we'll be doing a little cut in on their stuff. We're also probably going to try and set up a couple guys to come and do some live cut-ins for us. So should be fun.
Yep,
just
be a good time.
Throw the game on and hang out with us. That's YouTube we're doing.
Yeah, on YouTube.
You can go to our YouTube page, The Walk Off, and subscribe. That's always appreciated. And, buddy, this game is going to be so great. Hyunjin Ryu against Garrett Cole. What a way to start the season. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a pitcher's duel, right? Or it's not. It's going to be a slugfest with these teams. You don't know.
Yeah, no kidding. Two pretty incredible lineups, eh? I mean, we talk about Yankees. Yankees lost Luke Voigt for the next few weeks. He's getting some scar tissue cleared out of his knee. Is that correct?
Yes.
So he'll be out
and
for
it's
a while.
It's a while. It's unclear as to when he'll be back. Might be May or June.
But that lineup is still sickening. Let's be honest. I mean,
that's the thing. They could lose Stanton and Judge for a while, and that lineup is still sickening.
And chances are they will.
Yeah, chances are they will. Isn't that the case, man? Yeah, it should be interesting how this batting lineup looks, too. It's going to be kind of exciting all year long as to what the order of this Jays team is going to be, because if the Blue Jays brass has proven anything over the last couple years, is that this lineup is going to be changing constantly depending on the scenario. I don't think we're going to see anybody pigeonholed into one spot. Everyone would love to see a guy like Bichette in the 2-hole constantly. This is going to be a very different lineup than, let's say, the last time the Jays competed in 2015 and 16, where you just knew that it was going to be whoever,
right.
Ben Revere, Josh Donaldson, Jose Bautista, Edwin Encarnacion every single time, right? So, and the Jays are starting on the road.
Right. So what are your expectations for the Jays this year?
That's a really good question, man. I'm a homer.
World Series champs.
Well,
they're going to sweep the Dodgers in 4. I get it. You're excited about this team.
I think they're a wild card team.
Right.
I think they finished second in the division. I think the Rays are a very good team, and we could finish third. And if that's the case, it's not impossible. We're playing the Rays in the wild card game. I don't know, man. I think we'll need to see where this team's at.
What, Yankees are a shoe-in, other than something catastrophic.
Unless their pitching falls apart. Like, the Yankees pitching is suspect because they do have a bunch of question marks with a ton of injury guys. Guys like Corey Kluber, who hasn't pitched in a year, right? Like, guys like Jameson Taillon, who also hasn't pitched in a year. Like, they have about 4 dudes in their starting rotation that have combined for about 100 innings in the last year. So some question marks there. But if they perform the way they should perform and they stay healthy, I think the Yankees are the best team in the AL East. The Rays lost Morton and Snell, so I want to say that they're going to take a step back. But, buddy, the Rays lose their best starting pitchers almost every year, and it doesn't seem to matter. So
that is true. They're a system team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Jays are going to be playing meaningful games all year long.
Yes.
That's as much as I'm willing to commit to.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited by that because it's been a while.
Me too. And that's the thing, is I do believe that we're going to be September 15th here, and we're going to be talking about how close they are.
Yeah.
Or that they're just hanging on and someone's biting at their heels.
Exactly. And that's exciting. That's really exciting. So just enjoy the ride, guys.
You know what else I'm excited for, man?
What's that?
And some people are going to hate this take, okay? So the Jays go to Arlington, Texas, second series of the year.
Okay.
Globe Life Park. I was actually supposed to go to a series there last May. The park is supposed to be absolutely incredible. It's a brand new stadium. Texas, being Texas, has thrown caution to the wind. 100% capacity for their opening day against the Jays. I'm actually excited to watch a ball game with a full crowd. Listen, I'm well aware that this is probably a bad idea. I'm also all for, fingers crossed, that this is safety. No one gets sick. I know they're enforcing masks. Like, I hope this goes well. I know there's also a lot of people who are probably listening to me and hear the fact that I'm excited about it and just think, you idiot. After all the sacrifice everyone has made to be able to watch a game on TV with a full crowd, like, get over yourself.
Cancel culture is coming for you, Scott.
It might be fair. It might be a fair take, man. Like, maybe this is not the time for them to be packing a stadium, but everyone should remember the United States is ahead of us in vaccinations. They're already far ahead of us, actually. Like, everyone in the United States who wants a shot is supposed to have one by mid-May.
So it's like frontline workers, senior citizens, pro athletes, and then everybody else, right? That's the order.
And then everybody else is kind of the order.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Maybe it is selfish. I think it's going to be really fun to watch a full stadium.
Yeah,
it'll be cool.
Yeah.
And you know what? Why don't we enjoy it? They're doing it anyway. So let's enjoy it. And then we can shame Texas for being irresponsible after the series.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, we can shame them in hindsight.
Oh, buddy. Well, did you have any other Jays stuff you wanted to get to here before we move on to the rest of the league?
Not really, other than the catching situation. I think Kirk is going to play more games than Danny Jansen this year. I hope that's
really
the case. Yeah. I'm so done with Danny Jansen.
Yeah, I know you are.
I can't wait till the day where Riley Adams is our backup catcher and Alejandro Kirk is our starting catcher.
Mm-hmm. I feel the same way, man. I'm excited about
I don't know.
I'm excited about Kirk.
It's just when every position player we have has some sort of a sizzling excitement to them, and then there's Danny Jansen.
Yeah.
It's just
no sizzle.
So underwhelming. He's just
no sizzle, no steak.
He's just bread.
Yeah.
He's just bread.
But you know what, man? Hopefully he finds it. Hopefully people are commenting on this episode in 4 months and they're like, see, Adam Mack knows nothing about catching.
I hope you're right. I hope with the amazing lineup around him, he just gets easy pitches and he takes advantage.
Yeah. So we've talked about this a few times over the last 8 months. Sticky substances. Okay.
New rules.
So new rules. Major League Baseball has decided, you know what? Let's make a big deal out of sticky substances. Everyone talks about it. Let's get on board with this. So they have decided MLB attempts to crack down on foreign substances as outlined in a memo obtained by ESPN. Among the plans, increased monitoring by compliance officers. Whatever that means. Inspections of baseballs taken out of play that will use a third-party lab to check for substances. And then they're going to do spin rate analysis. Listen, there are so many holes in this. It's actually mind-blowing to me. Okay? So let's start with increased monitoring by compliance officers. What does that mean? They're checking the balls beforehand? Is that what that is?
Beforehand, afterhand.
Like, I know they're sending balls to the lab. If they find a substance, do they check the spin rate of the pitcher from previous games and then this game? Is that the idea? Here, like, I don't even get it. Like, here's the thing. So many pitchers use it. There's so many outs here, right? So you find a substance on the ball. The pitcher's like, well, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we checked your spin rate. Matches up with everything else you did. Because guess what? These guys have been doing this since the beginning of their friggin' career.
Well, this has larger implications than just the pitchers. This has, like, the Players Association is going to have a field day with this. Because I'm reading the quote, too, from Jeff Passan here. Players are subject to discipline by the commissioner's office for violating the official baseball rules, regardless of whether evidence of the violation has been discovered or not.
Yeah.
So
they're guilty. They're guilty right out of the bat. Like, I don't even understand what they're trying to do here.
I don't know, but I mean, 2018 Trevor Bauer is happy because he's been calling for this for years.
Yeah, but
Basically ever since Garrett Cole got his big contract, Trevor Bauer's like, hey, spin rate, like sticky
he's
substance.
cheating.
He's cheating.
But now 2021 Trevor Bauer, I mean, he's the most obvious guy using it.
Yeah. Well,
he's hired scientists to come up with the best sticky substances. His spin rate has increased 600 revolutions per minute in the last 3 years.
I love his agent responded to that Jeff Passan tweet and said, so what happens to players who've been using it their whole careers? Are they grandfathered in?
Which is such a great question. And she got ripped apart for that, right? Yeah. They're like, oh, you're just saying that because Trevor's cheating, blah. But, like, it really is a solid question. So what? They're going to check the spin rate on some guy's ball, and then they're going to reference it with the year before? Well, what if he was just cheating the year before, too?
Exactly.
Like, it's so arbitrary. Don't even put the rule in if it's going to be this ridiculous.
It's absurd, and, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to what we're going to do during the lockout season next year.
Oh, God, right?
Oh, man. It's wild. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be one of those, like, here's the thing, is if the penalty is anything other than a suspension, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. If
it's Trevor Bauer, here's a $10,000 fine because you violated the policy. Okay, well, I still have 41.99 million left, so who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And it's just like you're sending this to a lab. Like we're bringing scientists into this now to see if Trevor Bauer is increasing his spin rate.
I know.
But on the other hand, and you know what, man? I was online and there were some guys that brought up some really good stuff. Trevor Plouffe brought this up and he was like, you darn right, if everyone knew that batters were corking their bats 85% of the time, that pitchers would be screaming from the rooftop, right? And batters have kind of just been like, well, I mean, I guess everyone does it, so they're not cracking down on it. We're just going to live our lives. So, I don't know. There is some fairness there. I don't know. We talked to Anthony Telford about it, and he brought up everyone uses it. It's more of a cold weather thing because you lose the grip on the ball. The guys that are using it all the time is what they're trying to cut down on. But I just don't see how you can pull it off. I don't know.
So here's the thing. When Major League Baseball gets a pack of game balls ready for the game, right? Fresh out of the factory.
Yeah.
Fresh out of the plastic. It is like a glossy ball. So they do like mud it down to kind of scuff it up and dirty it. That's why it has kind of a brownish grayish tinge to it as opposed to that bright pearl white. Why don't we just apply that sticky substance to every ball right out of the gate?
Yeah.
It's a fair playing field. It ends every fucking part of excuse my language. It ends the conversation. Everybody's using the same sticky substance. Nobody has to worry about a batter getting hit from a wild pitch on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but like they're already putting a substance on it. It's just a crappy substance. Put a better one on and everybody's happy.
I'm not even advocating that we should allow it, especially considering it's been in the rule books forever that foreign substances on the ball is illegal. I just think there's no real way. I mean, Rob Manfred and Major League Baseball proves time and time and time again that they can't do things right most of the time. They think that they're going to be able to actually pinpoint guys without it blowing up in their face. Like, I don't know. And maybe they will crack down super hard and start suspending everyone. And then maybe we will see it go away. But I can't, like, teams will lose their mind over this.
Yeah, it's not good.
We'll see how it plays out. I just, like, they floated this rule out there last week. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, this is the stupidest, most arbitrary attempt at trying to regulate. Like, anyways.
Yeah.
I'm not even finishing sentences anymore. I just I just can't see how this works out.
Speaking of enforcing rules, did you hear about that referee in the NHL that got canned for
getting
caught on the hot mic saying, "I want to give these guys a penalty."
To even it up, which happens constantly.
And again, it's just one of those things where, like, we know it happens, but just shut the hell up about it. And that's the same kind of vibe that I get with this sticky substance.
Well, it's like
you use it, but just be quiet about it. It's not
the NHL
good PR.
fires him.
Yeah.
The NHL fires him, right?
No investigation, just we got him on mic, he's fired immediately.
But stop miking up. Like, this is the thing. It's an unwritten rule. Everybody knows the refs are trying to even things up all the time. Like, or if a guy is jawing at a ref constantly, of course he's more likely to give him a penalty. Yeah. I don't know. The whole thing is silly to me, but
it's silly, but I also understand, like, he's got to go. Like, you can't have that.
He was 3 weeks away from, or like 3 months away from retirement anyways. Like, it was the easiest decision ever, but yeah.
Wild times we live in.
Yeah. Wild times. All right, my man. You know what? Before we give our predictions here, because we are going to do the AL MVP and NL MVP, the batting title champs for both leagues, and predict the Cy Young Award winners.
Right.
You obviously can join us on our Discord and do the same.
Would love that.
But we've got some really exciting news about a guy we're interviewing at 3:30 this afternoon, Alberta time, really 5:30 Eastern. We're talking to Josh Palacio right after the game. He's playing in this final spring training game. He's on the 40-man roster. This is the first time we've talked to a guy on the 40-man, which is very exciting. And on top of that, we had a guest. When did we talk to Shea Hillenbrand? Last week?
Probably 2 weeks ago. We've got quite a backlog of some pretty good guests that we've been.
Some pretty great guests. So a lot of,
because of the spring training extravaganza with all these prospects.
Fellow Jays fans will remember Shea Hillenbrand. He was an all-star in 2005 for the team. He was the guy who wrote on the whiteboard, "Play for yourself. This is a sinking ship." And then John Gibbons challenged him to a fight. And he gets into it.
He gets into it, yeah. He
gets right into it.
He opens up about some stuff that he says he's never opened up about anywhere, which might hurt some feelings somewhere, but wild career he had.
Wild career. He talks about his time in Toronto. He talks about his all-star games. He talks about quitting baseball in his prime, buying a zoo. Just like, honestly, it is insane what this man went through. So we're going to be airing that next week. New podcast, or I guess we'll be airing it Friday, right?
Yeah, this Friday we'll go live with that. So new schedule. Do you want to get into what the new schedule is?
Yeah. While we're here, we might as well talk about the new schedule. So this is our last Monday podcast. The podcast will be moving to Fridays. We're going to do a live watch party on Thursday for opening day. Podcast on Friday. Radio show on Tuesday with 365 Sportscast. We were just
added to that sports network there.
Added to the sports network, radio sports network, which is very exciting.
So Tuesdays, 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Which will then roll over into Blue Jays game.
The Jays game.
For most nights. Most nights around 7 o'clock start, right?
Yeah.
You and I have discussed doing a live stream watch party for the Tuesday night games as well.
Yeah.
So we'll start the season with that. We'll see how it goes. See if there's any interest in people hanging out with us for that. We are going to re-air or republish, I guess, the Tuesday night live broadcast of the radio show, which will be an hour. So we'll put that up Wednesday morning. And then, the podcast from Mondays is going to be on Fridays. So that was probably the most complicated way I could explain the schedule. But
yes, absolutely. But so our Friday podcast is going to be when we have our guests on. We have a guest every single Friday. We're going to continue to talk to some of the top up-and-coming Blue Jays prospects. We're going to continue to try and get ex-Blue Jays on the show, ex-Expos, Anthony Telford. We're going to, hopefully, fingers crossed, start talking to some Blue Jays. Buddy, here's the thing. Like, we might just wind up getting grandfathered in this season if a guy like Palacio gets called up, or Joey Murray or Jordan Groshans. You know, like, there's our catalog of interviews is great. They're all up on YouTube right now. These guys sit down with us for 45 minutes to an hour, and they talk baseball. They talk life. I'm literally beside myself at the quality of guests and how candid everyone has been with us. We're just this little podcast that we're growing every day, but I mean, we're just a little podcast out of Alberta. Like,
I mean, we appreciate all the subscribers and listeners. And
absolutely, every listener, yeah.
But blown away by the quality of guests we've had, considering how small we are. So, I know we've been getting a lot of comments of people asking for, this prospect or this Blue Jay or whatever. And trust us, we would love to talk to Bo Bichette or Austin Martin or any of these guys. Trust us, we would love to. If you really want to see that happen, best thing you can do is tell a friend. Tell a friend to subscribe. The higher we get that subscriber count, unfortunately, the better chances we'll have of getting on their radar.
Yes.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. And while we're at it, just thanks again, everybody, for listening. Like, it does mean a lot. I know some of you have struggled through our early episodes where our sound was terrible and we were just kind of learning the ins and outs of this. And we're still learning. We still get better every day, hopefully. Yes, fingers crossed. Shea Hillenbrand next week. We're talking to Josh Palacio today. Not exactly sure when we'll air his episode. However, we will get a little teaser clip ready. Probably put that out tomorrow. Yeah. We've got Ali Schroeder, who is with the Canadian women's baseball national team. Right. She is the first female baseball player in the collegiate leagues in Canada. So she's playing with the boys. Really she's cool. Pitching. She's 19. We talked to her last week. She throws 83 miles an hour, which is the average speed for collegiate pitchers. Right. And she's got a slider that just is a wipeout slider. So very excited for her. And it was such a fun interview. So again, I'm not exactly sure when we'll air that. Next few weeks. Yeah. All right. Enough
tooting our own horn.
Enough honking our own horn here. Yeah. Let's get to our predictions and then we'll throw to this week's guest, Chris Beck. So let's start with the AL MVP. Who do you got, my man?
Well, this is not going to be a very controversial choice, but I'm going with, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Mike Trout.
Yeah, me too. That right. No, literally, it's so funny because I was reading an article 3 weeks ago and Mike Trout was being interviewed and he was like, you know what? I really feel like I found my swing this offseason.
It's about time.
Like, Dear God.
Dear God, it's
so
right.
If he has found his swing, look out, American League.
Yeah, absolutely.
NL MVP, who do you got?
Not a very exciting pick either, Mookie Betts.
Okay, and that's very fair. I think Christian Yelich is going to win it this year. I think he's going to have a massive bounce back year. That's the hope.
I don't hate that. I kind of hate it. I mean, he was one of my predictions, I think, for batting average leaders last year.
Yeah, last year.
He embarrassed me the whole season. So
yeah.
I'm a little scorned.
Well. Okay, so batting title, AL, which is
batting average.
Highest batting average.
Drum roll, please. Bo Bichette.
Hey! Whoa!
I really tried to not be a homer for these predictions and just list 3 Blue Jays, but I think Bo Bichette's going to just absolutely crush this year. I think he's going to be in the conversation for MVP. I see 30 home runs and a 300 batting average for him this year.
That would be incredible. I hope you're right. But now I'm embarrassed by my prediction. I've got Alex Bregman. I think he's going to have a big bounce back year, and someone's got to be hitting on that Houston team, and I think he's the guy, and he always has a decent average. Right. I think he'll be the guy. NL batting title, who you got?
Mookie Betts.
See, and I'm going Mookie Betts there too.
Okay.
The guy's just a superstar. Yes. Okay. Cy Young, AL, who you got?
Shane Bieber.
Oh my God, man. Me too. Yeah.
This is going to be a boring prediction.
Right? There's no competition. Year. We're just saying the same guys here.
Yeah. How's Mike Trout doing? Yeah, still doing good. Okay, cool.
Yeah. NL Cy Young.
Blake Snell.
Hey, I like that prediction.
I think he's got a chip on his shoulder after last year with Tampa Bay and how that went. I think he feels like he's got, again, something to prove. I don't know if he actually does have something to prove. I think he's established, but
yes,
now in San Diego, officially, Yu Darvish is the ace there. He's getting the opening day start.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Blake Snell's the number 2, but I think Blake Snell's better than you, Darvish. I think he's going to have a great year. So
I think I agree with you on that. I've got, see, in this one, here's the thing. I did not step out of, I'm not taking a chance here. I just think it's going to be Jacob deGrom.
Okay.
If he stays healthy, he wins it every year.
fair enough.
And just watching him pitch this spring, like the guy was hitting 100, like he throws 101 and looks like he's tossing a catch. Like he's just playing catch. Like the guy
He's
is,
very casual and just naturally.
oh my God, he's just so talented. So that's my prediction.
All right, well,
we'll see where things land.
We'll throw those predictions up in our Discord. Anybody that's listening wants to join our Discord, please do. That's a fun place to hang out. We've got a nice little community starting to grow.
Yeah,
there.
we do have a nice little community going there. And you know what? For some of these interviews, because we are getting so many great interviews that they're kind of piling up on us here. Yeah. So they're backlogged, right? We've got about 6 of them in the bank right now. And I mean, we are only airing one a week. So if you would like to watch live, that does give you the opportunity to do that. We put the live link in there, and then you can, watch Josh Palacio even today.
That's a great
at 3:30 if you wanted
today,
to.
So
yeah. All right, let's throw to our man Chris Beck. We're see everyone on Friday, I guess, or join us on Thursday for
come stop by
opening
on
day.
Thursday at youtube.com/the Walk-Off Podcast. We'll be live, hanging out during the Blue Jays game.
Yeah.
Ask us questions, make fun of my Alejandro Kirk prediction, everything. It'll be a good time. So,
again, thanks everybody so much for listening. Chris Beck should be starting with the New Hampshire Fisher Cats AA this year. He is a Miami boy and
childhood friend of Alec Manoa. So,
childhood friend of Alec Manoa, and honestly, just such a great conversation. Enjoy, everybody. Thanks for listening.